From the Oklahoma newsroom, this is the Varsity Update. I'm Jenny Carlson here in studio with Cameron Jordan, high school sports writer. Cameron, somehow we've gotten to week 7 in the high school football season. I don't know how it got here so fast, but it's fall break week, and that means if your team's playing, they're probably playing on Thursday night. Most of the games are on Thursday, and that includes our top game around here, which is Perkins, Tryon, and Kingfisher.
Yeah, you know, that's going to be a really interesting game. Last week, Perkins Tryon took Heritage Hall to the brink. They actually had the ball with about 20 seconds left, and it was a tie game. Perkins throws an interception. Heritage Hall's best player, Philip Smith, ends up taking it back to return for a touchdown. But that game could have easily went to overtime, and I talked with both coaches, and it's just really interesting to see how that game kind of came down to the wire. But no, Perkins is really interesting. Last year they also started 5-0, similar to this year. Now they're 5-1 after the Heritage Hall loss. But really strong team up front, really a bunch of skilled players who have experience now. Last year they just didn't have the experience. Now they have that, but they're going and facing a tough Kingfisher team that's 4-2. They haven't lost a district game yet. Their only 2 losses also are to teams in the class above them, the 2 teams, Bethany and Tuttle, that met in the Class 4A state title game last year. So this is going to be a really important district matchup that arguably could be for that second spot in that district, because there's also John Marshall there who's still extremely talented and really capable. Those 3 teams are going to be shuffling for that second spot, but this game right here is going to be really important before they all play each other to show who could possibly be number 2 behind Heritage Hall.
So if you want some good postseason position, this is the game to win for these 2 teams, it sounds like.
For sure.
Okay. A big class game involves Moore and Tulsa Union. When you talk about district standings, these are the 2 teams at the top of their districts.
Yeah, you know, Moore kind of had a little bit of a rough start to the season, starting 1 and 2, excuse me, and that's really not even that bad.
Yeah.
The teams that they played were really strong in competition that they lost to. They lost to Norman and to Westmore. Both those teams started undefeated, 4-0 for Norman and 5-0 for Westmore. Yeah. So Moore quarterback Daniel Highshaw Jr. is going to have a big task though this weekend. He's going to be the biggest key in them going up to Tulsa Union and having a chance to pull off the upset. That game is just really interesting from the standpoint of Tulsa Union has kind of struggled this year, but if you look at their schedule, the teams that they've played have really it's the reason that they've kind of struggled, but they also have a lot of turnover. They're not at the point they have been this year that they have been the last couple of years. They're getting healthier, as we saw last week with their dominating win against Putnam North down here in the city. So that game is going to be really interesting to see how Tulsa Union's defense can match up against Daniel Highshaw Jr. and Moore's offense. Another
game involving a team from down in the Moore district, Westmore, going against UConn.
Yeah, that's another one that's also interesting because Westmore suffered its first loss last week against Broken Arrow and really struggled defending the run. Broken Arrow had 395 rushing yards in that game, and they didn't really try to air it out. That was on a Thursday night when that cold front had come through, so it was about a 20 to 25 mile an hour wind out of the north. Broken Arrow didn't even try to throw the ball. Wow. They just ran it. Westmore couldn't stop it, so they kept doing it. 55-14 was the final score of that game. So they're going to have another test this week because UConn runs the flexbone offense. So it's going to be really interesting to see how Westmore's defense is able to handle that, what they've improved over these last few days to try to improve in their run defense, because UConn's going to bring it right at them as well.
All right, well, Thursday night again, if you're going to a game, double check. It's probably Thursday night. Don't wait till Friday. It might be far in the rearview mirror at that point. With fall break, lots of teams playing on Thursday night. We'll have all your coverage on Thursday and a couple Friday games as well, so be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at Oklahoman.com and every day in the Oklahoman.